So Building 7, I'm watching TV and there's a lady sitting.
You know how fast it spins around the sun?
Because I'm in Asia, right? She starts saying,
66,600.
I'm looking at her going,
666
the
is
building over your shoulder?
everywhere on the globe.
It's right there.
Okay.
She did it like,
So we're
20
traveling
minutes early or something.
1,000 miles. Yeah. Travel around the country in 265. With all those different motions, and you don't feel like you're spinning. You don't feel like you're doing nothing, right? Talking about Antarctica, I don't want to questions, but I had a sidetrack. So this is pretty much what we all believe. So it's like a giant lake with all the islands, which are the continents, and then Antarctica is the highest land on Earth. They never teach you that in school, but it's the highest land on Earth, and that's what keeps all the water and everything in. What's over here? We don't know. You can't go there. Is there other lands past it? So if this is us, that's Antarctica. There's stories of other lands. Summer's Gate, right? You heard of that? Yeah.
I mean, I don't really have a ship, you know. We can scrape with the money. We can do this.
Well, you'll never get past. Let's see. See about this line here, right around here. You'll never go past that line. The military is all over that, and you will get. If you keep going, you don't listen to them when they tell you to stop. They'll shoot you. They'll sink your boat. They'll
Hide the body.
shoot your plane down. Whatever. Yeah. Why is nobody allowed up there? Because it's dangerous and they don't want to have to go chase for you? No. Because you're going to find something else if you go past it. And they don't want you to know.
Just like Admiral Byrd said, there's more continents beyond there. He, right after World War II, he went out and set out on an expedition. He came back and he said, oh yeah, there's another continent out there past called the Iron Republic. And talked about it. 2 weeks later, he's dead. And people always say, well, wouldn't the astronauts tell you that it was flat? Because they've been up there, right? Well, Miroslav Herminsky, he's a Polish astronaut. He said, the Earth is not a globe, the Earth is flat. Now guess what? No one from his country, not just him, no one from his country has been an astronaut since.
And no one's heard from him since then.
Y'all getting educated over here?
Yes, ma'am.
Satellites are not real. There is cables under the sea all across this plane. And not to mention that, but the cell towers, 5G towers, why do they keep building all these towers if we have a bunch of satellites orbiting the Earth?
The plane would.
Flight to Dallas, Beijing, New Zealand.
I tried to do that. Emergency flight, emergency landings prove that we live on a flat Earth. Because if you look at Chicago, what's the I've been using that ever since. And then I've had
That's one of the flights right here.
Yeah, so this one, so we go from here, right? They go all the way up here, then to India, across, right? So they had an emergency in Amsterdam. No, what was it? Can you?
They had an
explain
emergency
that? You're better
and
at
they
that.
landed in Amsterdam. All right, they wouldn't be there here. If you're flying on a globe from here to here, you're going to fly here. You're not going to fly in a giant circle around this way. You're going to fly in a straight line, kind of like this. So when they landed the emergency landing, they landed right there in the middle where they're supposed to. If you'd have landed on the globe, you'd have been all the way up here. That's how a plane travels. They're not just going to be like, all right, guys, we're going to add an extra 6 hours to the trip. We're going to fly over here to another continent's out the way. And what is your biggest proof in your mind now that the Earth is a globe?
Whatever we learned in school, right, that they told us to memorize and then forget, so we just knew it, right? But if you go back and you research it for yourself now as an adult, you realize that things don't add up. That's all we say. Just look into the information that they've already learned and see if it makes sense to you.
I mean, we can go home and we can pour water in a glass, right? The surface of that water is flat, right? In the glass water. What if I pour water in a bathtub? Is it flat or is it curved? It's flat. When I go out on a clear day when the wind's not blowing, I go out fishing on a lake. I can see the reflection on the water straight across the lake, right? Or reflections don't happen on a curved surface. I couldn't see that reflection straight all the way across. So we know that surface of that water is flat. The surface of the ocean, the water is flat. So 70% of the earth is water. It can't be a ball because 70% of something can't be flat and a ball.
Wait, do we have a bottom?
A bottle?
A bottom.
Oh, well, we don't know. We can't go past 8 miles. We've tried. The Kola super deep borehole in Russia, they drilled down to 8 miles, and every step of the way they kept going down. They said, all right, we're gonna hit this. Well, they find something different. And then at 8 miles down, they hit something hard and fast and couldn't drill down any further. So what's below that, we don't know. The deepest point we've ever explored in the ocean, 7.9 miles down, the Mariana Trench. So we've never been past 8 miles.
I got another question.
You said like the plane could like fly into space, they don't nose down.
Right.
But when like if it was, was a, I guess it was, would the air pressure like stop it? Because it gotta need all that to.
So here's where my personal experience can come in. I used to be a pilot, and I flew Cessna 182s, which we don't have. When you set your autopilot, it wasn't automatic, it was manual. All right, so you look at your gyroscope, and what your gyroscope measures is rigidity in space. It doesn't matter. I could be flying over a ball. I could be flying over something that's flat. Your gyroscope does not care. So you look at your gyroscope. When you're flying flat and level and straight, you set your autopilot, right? I could fly for an hour over the ocean, and my altitude never changed. So if my altitude never changes, I'm flying flat and level, and it's locked in, the curve cannot be curving below me because my altitude hasn't changed. It remained constant.
I got another question. Is only the Earth flat or all the other planets flat also?
So the way I answer this question for people is if I go to play pool, billiards, and I'm playing, or is all the balls on the table round? Is the table flat? So just because something above something is round doesn't mean the object below it also has to be round.
Got a question. So you said like the water for Antarctica will fall out, right?
No, it wouldn't. It'd be contained.
What if like would you like be, I guess like an end to that? Like you just fall off or like go to the underneath the flat or?
Well, no, the water's contained just like the water in a lake is contained.
But let me like, what if you go past that? Like,
We don't know. You're not allowed. Remember, we went over that earlier. We'd like to know.
yeah,
But yeah, it's all contained in, just because Antarctica is the highest landmass on Earth, an average elevation of 8,200 feet.
And why would they stop people from going past that if they didn't have something to hide? Just like the North Pole. You can't go to the North Pole either.
what do you think they're hiding over there? Like aliens type stuff or like,
That's just speculation on our part. What I like to mostly do is focus on the facts because I could prove to you the Earth is not a globe. And where you go on your journey beyond that, that's on you. Like what we speculate on, what we can see on old maps. That's not something that I can prove. I didn't make this map, but there are old maps that show lands beyond.
You can learn more on the internet.
yeah, let me
Grab a little pamphlet. And take
Have a good
y'all
day.
for
Thank you.
find the app. The app will have videos for you that you can't find on YouTube.